Thanks for checking out SYMFONI on YouTube. Please be sure to subscribe and like our videos for updates.
The promulgation of the law establishing the NDLEA was also necessitated by the incessant arrests of Nigerians within and outside the country for drug-related offenses. The agency is tasked with the coordination and enforcement of all laws against the cultivation, processing, sale, trafficking, and use of hard drugs, and we are empowered to investigate persons suspected to have dealings in drugs and other related matters. Some 32 years after its establishment, the NDLEA has pushed the restart button. We commenced a renewed war against drugs because illicit drugs have acquired a new dynamism and have mutated into a hydra-headed problem. On assumption of office 5 months back, I found myself handed a colossal task, principally because I met an agency that was half dead. Our image was shabby, our visibility poor, morale of officers and men low. The magnitude of the consequences of failure loomed so large that a paradigm shift became imperative in the agency's overall operation. So I had to find a pragmatic means, along with my management, to galvanize the NDLEA workforce. To this end, we set up a harmonization committee to look into all complaints of stagnation. The report of the committee is being implemented presently. To boost the morale of officers and men, I instituted a reward scheme aimed at inspiring our workforce to become result-oriented. Structurally, efforts are ongoing to expand and strengthen the agency, particularly the directorates, the newly approved zonal commands, and the state commands. In essence, we have devoted the past 5 months to restructuring and strengthening the NDLEA and transforming it into an efficient anti-drug juggernaut. We thank His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari for his political will and strong backing that made these structural changes at NDLEA possible. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, our efforts have yielded positive results. The numbers have been impressive, even if I say so myself. Over 2,000 traffickers arrests, including 5 drug barons controlling different cartels across Nigeria. A record 2.05 million kilograms of drugs intercepted and seized across the country. You can imagine what even a fraction of that on the streets would cause. How many of our youths will perish? 2,100 drug offenders prosecuted, with 500 jailed by our courts, and still counting. And a cash and drug seizure valued at over 90 billion naira. Again, you can think of what a fraction of that would do to those agencies that are pushing, promoting insecurity in Nigeria. While the statistics are impressive, we wouldn't deceive ourselves that we have succeeded in cleaning the audience table in 5 months. Certainly not. We have only made a head start. We need to sustain the momentum. We need to win the drug war. We cannot afford to be complacent. Officers and men of the NDLEA have a collective resolution to clean up Nigeria and make our country drug-free. And in this campaign, we are tackling the scourge of drug abuse and trafficking on all fronts. In addition to the arrests and prosecution of drug offenders, we have worked out intensive drug abuse, the door open to all for partnership in the fight against abuse of illicit substances. It is to this end that we set up a special purpose committee to involve stakeholders in the cause. I have also embarked on an advocacy drive to governors, opinion and community leaders, traditional institutions, faith-based organizations, and the like. Today, I am seizing this opportunity to urge everyone to muster the moral fiber to complement the NDLEA effort in the war against drug abuse and illicit drug trafficking. Cooperate with us to spread the message. Within the framework of an organic solution, the drug problem has a public health dimension that recognizes the need for treatment, rehabilitation, and general care for people who use drugs. While Nigeria presently has a shortage of treatment centers for people with drug use disorder, the federal government is making concerted efforts at ensuring that drug rehabilitation centers are available across the 6 geopolitical zones, and some states are also trying. This will enhance access to treatment and reintegration of treated drug users into their families and society. To standardize our counseling services in the NDLEA, a standard policy and practice guidelines document for drug counselors was produced with the support of UNODC and funded by the EU. Thank you very much. The document will be used by NDLEA counselors and healthcare providers across the country to provide support to individual drug users who seek help. I am glad to announce again that the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces will launch the War Against Drug Abuse here today. War Against Drug Abuse, WADA, WADA. WADA is not a mantra, but a further demonstration of His Excellency's willingness to address the drug problems holistically. The able and esteemed Secretary to the Government of the Federation kindly convey to His Excellency, Mr. President, that his immense support and encouragement is highly appreciated, as we hope to always count on him in this fight against the drug menace. We are aware that his dream is to see Nigeria devoid of the drug menace, and I make this solemn commitment on behalf of our officers and men that in support of His Excellency, the President's efforts and commitment to bring sustainable development to our dear country, the agency is committed to confronting the drug scourge with all the seriousness that it deserves. Finally, to everyone here present, I say, let us strive to share facts on drugs and save lives. We can do it. Thank you. God bless.
My pleasure to join you today in commemorating the United Nations International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Drug Trafficking as a further demonstration of my administration's commitment to join hands with the global community in having a world free of drug abuse. Since December 1987, when the United Nations General Assembly declared 26 June of every year as a day set aside for member states to reinvigorate their efforts at ridding their nations of drug abuse and illicit drug trafficking menace, Nigeria had always done its utmost to curtail drug abuse and illicit drug trafficking. The economic and social consequences of drug abuse and illicit drug trafficking, which includes disruption of individuals' lives, family and community lives, retarded or no education for users, danger posed by users to the civil society, encouraging corruption and increase in crime rates, underscores the need for a collective action to tackle the menace. In 2021, World Drug Report by the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime indicated that in the year 2020, 275 million people used drugs, out of which 35 million suffered from drug abuse and disorders. In Nigeria, the 2018 National Drug Use Survey conducted by the UN ODC revealed a 14.4% prevalence rate of drug use in 2017, which translates to 14.3% of people between 15 and 64 years. Cannabis was the most commonly used drug, followed by opioids, mainly the non-medical use of prescription opioids and cough syrups. There has been an upsurge in the use of drugs and other psychoactive drugs in Nigeria since the 2018 report. This worrisome situation is further compounded by a noticeable high wave of insecurity linked with drug use and trafficking in the country. Evidence has shown a strong relationship between drug use and criminalities, such as banditry, kidnapping, insurgency, terrorism, murder, rape, and so on. And this has been ably elucidated this afternoon by our keynote speaker. The upward trend of drug seizures by the NDLEA between January to date indicates not only that drug abuse and the trafficking subculture remain rife, but that the law enforcement agencies, especially the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, are beginning to put in the required vigor to curb the menace. I, therefore, want to commend the chairman of the NDLEA, Brigadier General Muhammadu Buhari Marwa, retired, and his team for the reinvigorated push I have noticed in the last few months. And urge them to continue with this renewed zeal. They should be assured of my administration's total support for a sustainable drug control program. I will pause here to say for a fact we are seeing a new NDLEA. There has been a rebirth of the agency, and truly we are beginning to see the reward and the fruits of the concerted war that is being managed and pursued under the able leadership of my senior brother and good friend, Brigadier General Muhammadu Buhari Marwa. A war against drug abuse, WADA, not just as a slogan, but a call for civil action for all Nigerians to take active part in this war. Let me say that this war is more deadly than the insurgency we have in the northeastern part of the country, or the acts of banditry in the northwest, or the acts of kidnapping that transcends all the geopolitical zones of this country. Because it is a war that is destroying 3 generations. Because I've seen clips of where grandparents are on drugs, parents are on drugs, and by extension, their wards, their children are on drugs. So this is a war that is targeting 3 generations in a stretch. So it is more deadly than even the security challenges that we are having in this country. And I believe strongly that every effort must be put in place to ensure that we deal with the issues of substance abuse and trafficking and manufacture so that we can get to the root cause, as ably elucidated by our keynote speaker this afternoon, of the mirage of insecurity problems that are confronting this nation. And I believe strongly, with every iota of conviction, that if we are able to deal with the issues of drug abuse substantially, our security challenges would drastically be reduced. As we walk towards a drug-free Nigeria, I once again implore all Nigerians from every strata of life, our traditional institutions, our religious leaders, our local leadership at every level, to be very vigilant and to support this cause and the war against drug that has been declared on this day, the 26th of June in the year 2021. I thank you for listening. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Please. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, before you return to your seat, sir. Yes, sir. Well, that's it. The formal launch of the War Against Drug Abuse, WADA, in Nigeria. Another round of applause. Is a collective responsibility. Sir, may I invite you here, sir?
Finally, the government are taking this war against drug seriously because of the dangerous effect of drugs, more especially on our youth, who actually represent the future of this country. If the very future of the country, which is the youth, is being badly affected by drug, that means the future of the country is gone. I'm happy that the government are taking this serious. And I want to thank the president for appointing General Marwa and made him the head of NDLEA.